Hi there, I'm Chris Devine, and this is my review of Warm Audio's Foxy Tonebox Fuzz Pedal. Now, Warm Audio has really established themselves as producers of high quality audio gear and an attention to detail of all the classic aspects. And we've seen it with a lot of their preamps. They've done a whole bunch of microphones as well. And now they're stepping into the pedal arena. And this one is ready to do battle. The enclosure is completely covered in this orange, velvety, Muppet skin-like material with the metal badge on the top that will give you a guide of how everything all works. It tells you where your inputs and your outputs are. It also tells you that right here is your volume control, your sustain control, which is your fuzz circuit, and the octave sustain on-off switch, which is right here. You do get an octave effect built in here as well. And the mellow bright control, which is a basic tone knob. Inside, Warm Audio sourced some new old stock Fairchild transistors. The original Fox tone machine that this is modeled after had that in their original circuit. And they've also got some premium film capacitors and some carbon resistors in there as well. The circuit board also uses gold-plated pads, and the foot switch is a true bypass switch. What you end up with is a musical blend of old and new components, and every one of these is made by hand, which is a really cool feature. Sound-wise, if you've heard from the sound samples I played, this is very gnarly, and it's nowhere near subtle. This is fuzz. It's heavy square wave. With a humbucker, the fatness of this really comes through. Chords and rhythm parts can be quite massive, and as you dial up the sustain, it really does sing. Those overtones are just floating behind everything, which is absolutely fantastic. The note cascade and the fade aspect is also glorious. And then you kick in the octave effect, and it gets crazier. It's almost synth-like to a degree. It can get a little messy, but in a good way. It seems to kind of really sit nicely with what all the wonderful inconsistencies that a fuzz with that effect usually brings to the game. And it really delivers some really joyous tones overall. Now, there are some pedal nerds out there that have their preferences on their fuzz and its transistors, but the general ruling is germanium is a bit smoother and musical, while silicon is a bit harsher. I'll say your mileage may vary and what you're looking for. We found examples where the opposite is true, but I'll say this is a fantastic version of that germanium-based fuzz that delivers that square wave distortion, for lack of a better term, that seems to have its own thing. It's pretty wild. It's handmade with components that recreate pretty much an unobtainable vintage pedal. It sounds fantastic, and you'd expect you're going to have a boutique price tag to go along with all those features. Nope. It's $149 street price, and I would consider this a very affordable boutique pedal for that, considering what you're really getting. And what you're getting is a really faithful recreation of a classic that is getting more and more expensive and harder to find. A couple things to note. The enclosure is a bit on the large side. Okay. There's no easy to see LED to let you know if the pedal's on or off. You'll know if it's on, trust me, with this amazing sound that comes through it. The side mounted knobs, depending on where you put this on your pedal board, could be an issue. The fact that also you might want to have the octave switch rarely available, that could be a bit of an issue. The wonderful velvety material here might not play nicely with dual lock or Velcro on your pedal board. You may have to find some other method of attachment, or dare I say it, remove a little bit so you get a good adhesion for your pedal board. It brings up a couple issues on that type of situation. However, Warm really copied every aspect of this pedal, and the reproduction is absolutely amazing, considering the original is getting harder and harder to find and also getting more and more expensive at the same time. So getting all those aspects of the original in a box with that much attention to detail, yes, it may not be as pedal board friendly, but it is authentic, and that is something that a lot of players really strive for before they go to the practicality side of things. The overall solution could be a bigger pedal board, and considering the tone that comes with it, big tone, big pedal board. And I would have to say, try to find a few extra inches to throw this on your pedal board, and you will not be disappointed. Pros and cons. Pros, it's well made, it's faithful germanium style fuzz, it sounds fantastic. The super cool octave effect, which we really like. The downsides, the cons, if you will. Slightly large enclosure, and it might not be pedal board friendly, but it's boutique at a reasonable price. So if you get a chance, check out the Warm Audio Foxy Tone box.